Yeah. Cyber on the mic, moderating like a boss. Keeping it steady, ain't never getting lost. Bleeding edge where the rawness meets the show. Drinks up, get ready, let the chaos flow. Aim trains, time traveling, hit the flux capacitor. Jumping timelines, ain't no ordinary ambassador. Bringing stories from the past, man, he's blasted. Live in the moment, future ain't lasting. We live.
I know you're being an asshole. Sorry, but I would like you to leave it.
Don't you ever tell me. Oh my God.
No, stop. I'm a minor. I'm a minor. You just assaulted a minor, lady. You just assaulted a minor and I defended myself. Stop. No. Go away. What the fuck are you doing? Cry your bitch ass a river.
I don't.
Cause I'm a tranny, baby. What's up? Respect me, baby. Let's get it. Anyways, folks, got to start the MCU'S Bleeding Edge off with some crazy fucked up shit because we've got newcomers. We've got Bleeding Edge virgins on the show, so we got to keep it interesting here. MCU'S Bleeding Edge in the house. Don't be confused by my outfit. Yes, I am a Tusken Raider in training, taking classes from Phoenix University to represent the Tuskens. Right? I go to Tatooine occasionally and whatnot for like some of my hands-on training with the Tuskens and Sand People. I love how racist that sounds. It's really great. You can get away with it too. We're here to do the Occulty. No, I'm just playing around. The Acolyte, episode 4 recap tonight. The show's getting better, folks. Watch out. Might see some changes here on the show. It's not going to be like a complete slam fest, I don't think. On this, I guess you could say live stream show this evening, this Wednesday night, 6/20/6/24, Wednesday evening. On the guest panel, my co-host Cyberneticshark, Andre's a pop culture guy, Imran from Jock and Nerd Podcast on YouTube, and potentially Ben, that guest with us on Star Wars, is supposed to be popping by. Our newcomers are Garrett and Jason from Cigars in Space, a Star Wars podcast. Gentlemen, it's nice to see you. Welcome to the MCU'S Bleeding Edge.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
No doubt. And I'm going to turn your mic volume up right now. Gotta make you loud. Are you excited to be on the Bleeding Edge?
Yeah, for sure. We have definitely been checking you guys' show out for the past couple of weeks and stuff. As of course, you guys been kind of on the same wavelength as we have been, kind of going over these episodes with the Acolyte dropping and everything, and kind of just been recapping. I agree with your assessment. I think the show is getting a little bit better. Of course, seeing the most recent episode, I really think so. But yeah, episode 4, I do agree, was an improvement. Liked it a little bit more than the other 3 for sure. So, but yeah, glad to be here.
Garrett.
That was Garrett.
Jason.
Yeah.
We'll get it straightened a little bit, Jeff. No worries.
Yeah, it's got our little name in the corner there. You can always look at that and figure it out. So, no, thanks for
I
having me.
apologize, Jason.
No, you're
Let me
fine.
go to the right person. Well, I can't see you. You have to remember that, right?
Yeah, I saw you. You're doing the Tusken Raider there.
Are you happy to be here, sir?
Yes, I'm happy to be here. I thank y'all for having us. I'm looking forward to talking a little bit about Acolyte. I do agree that episode 4 was a bit of an improvement, albeit I will say that was a low bar. So looking forward to talking about it.
Okay. Headphones will probably help me out here.
I don't think Tusken Raiders wore headphones.
There we go. I got them. There we are. All right. Now I can actually fucking hear you guys. Excellent. Imran, it's good to see you, brother. It's been a while. It's been a week.
What's up, you fucking Star Wars beekeeper looking motherfucker? It's amazing. We're over here, Jeff. Can you see the camera? Over this way.
I can see you, sir. I can see you. It's good to see you, brother. I'm just a pop culture guy, sir. How are you?
Very good. Very excited to talk about this episode. And yeah, let's go from there.
Cyberneticshark, are you ready to raise your rating on episode 3 from a 0 to something in the positive numbers?
Maybe.
Oh.
Ooh.
We can't be having too many zeros, baby. It ain't good.
Well, you can thank them for allowing some dumb bitch to make something, so that's their problem.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like the me getting laid count, 0 is not a good number for me, right? That don't fly for me. So, folks, I'm actually gonna pull a cyber and change my moderation style a little bit tonight, just to try to kind of tighten up on my end. So I'm actually gonna roll in some Google Slide type shit and actually use some images.
Ooh.
You know, just to kind of cut back on some of my needing to do this, the scene to scene breakdown word for word. I'm just gonna go ahead and display some images and talk around them, and then throw to you guys. But folks out there, listen, support the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We appreciate when you do by simply liking, subscribing, following us on whatever platform you find us on. If you like our podcast, make sure you follow us, rate a fucking review, all that good shit. Do all of it. Support the fuck out of us. We deserve it. We're the best. We're killing it. You know what's up. Let's do it. All right. So heading into the episode 4 of the Acolyte, since we have newcomers coming on that have not been a part of our Acolyte recap series so far, let me start off with the newcomers. I'll start off with Garrett. Now, Garrett, what were your thoughts? If you could go back and remember, what were your thoughts going through episodes 1 through 3 of the Acolyte, heading into episode 4 on the show?
Sure. Well, one of the things I think that a lot of people had agreed about too with this series was the idea that, oh man, we might finally get like a really Sith eccentric show, right? Like we might get something that kind of gets us away from the Jedi for a while, something kind of familiar, and gets us into this new realm and kind of focuses on this darker element, right? So I kind of had this built-up mentality of thinking kind of what I hoped would be on the show and what we would get, and then of course, we get the first 3 episodes, and I want to say that at first I was a little bit disappointed because I was like, man, I just like, wow, we got a glimpse of the Sith Lord, I guess if you want to call him that. We weren't sure for that was going to be the focus, right? Because we focused so much time on May and kind of her story of becoming an acolyte and trying to kill these Jedi and everything. But again, it seemed like my perspectives and what I wanted was changing and I felt that I was going to have to adapt my expectations as we went. So that was kind of leading up, episodes 1 through 3 for me, kind of coming to this realization like, oh man, we may not get that super, Sith centric show like I was hoping for. But that was sort of my thoughts, 1 through 3. And of course we get a nice surprise in episode 4, which I was, very, very excited about because I thought, I had put to bed all of my expectations, and then to kind of get thrust back into, hey, actually this might become a thing. I was like very excited for that. And I was like, oh man, okay, we might get that really dark aspect that we've been, a lot of fans have been hoping for. So those are my initial thoughts.
Jason, what did you think of episode 3 and that lesbian witch sister breathing session or whatever, whatnot, where they were like, there was like some chick in the background going kiki kiki and all that shit and whatnot, and they were like, they were orgasmically dancing and shit. What was your take on that?
Were they singing Disney songs at one point? I swear.
They were the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
That's from Aladdin, right? That's from Aladdin.
Have y'all seen the where they redid it, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and they have Vader saying that instead of "you don't understand the power of the dark side"? I need to check that out if you haven't seen it. So it's pretty good. My biggest problem with that, I'll say my biggest problem, one of my problems with that was the fact that they're witches. I get it, but we've seen the Dathomir witches, and they're cool. I don't know if y'all like them, but I like the Dathomir witches. I think they're pretty cool. And they bring these people in there, and they're too on the nose with witches. I mean, you don't have to have witches cackling and doing all this spells with whatever's going on.
The Dathomir witches never did any shit like this.
Right. They never did anything like that. This whole thing just seemed weird. It was almost like they were, modern. I was waiting for them to jump out on their brooms and have warts on their noses and all that stuff. But no, I thought it was a little bit too on the nose. Concept wise, I didn't have an issue. I just thought it was not very well brought out. And my complaint for the whole series so far is I just don't think the story writing is up to par. I say up to par. It's up to par with a lot of the other things that they've done, but it's not up to par with what has come before. And some of the
I think a lot of us actually have said that we've voiced that we think it's actually subpar compared to even like Obi-Wan and whatnot and all that.
I agree. The only thing that I don't think that I would think that is that the story writing may be worse is the Book of Boba Fett. I did not like it at all. That might be the only thing that's worse than the storyline in this one. And that's one of the things that me and Garrett talk all the time is give me a good story. I really don't care what you put in there. Give me what it's about. Give me a good story. If you want to throw all this extra stuff, all this woke stuff, whatever it is, just give me a good story. And if you give me a good story, then anybody who complains about all the extra stuff, they'll just go away.
I'm with you on that. I'm 100% on that. I can handle the woke shit as long as you give me a good story and it's entertaining. I can swallow the woke shit. I can move right past it. But that you make some really good points there. I like how you mentioned that the concept of the show just really there's no way of determining what it is, kind of, through the first 3 episodes. What do you think, Imran? Where were you at going into episode 4?
Well, episode 3 was a little confusing. I agree with Jason. It's execution. It's not the best on the show. The dialogue is god awful. There's slight improvements coming up. The sets look off and look like they're shooting at the theme park or something. But the whole fact that they think a mystery is giving us bits and pieces of things and leaving out huge things, like episode 3, like that's not exactly what happened. Some of it is really confusing. How does stone catch fire? Can somebody explain it? Space stone catch fire? I don't understand. But clearly that's not the whole story, right? So they're withholding things because it's a mystery, but it's really just confusing. Like, that's not how you tell a good mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under the pop culture guy, sir, what were your thoughts going through episodes 1 through 3 heading into episode 4?
I was giving up pretty easily. It's just these 3 episodes. Initially I thought it was going to be a good police procedures Star Wars show, right? And it's like, okay, that's a good thing, and that's not like that in the first 3 episodes, and it's just so weird. And I agree with our new guest. Yeah, I don't just give me something, and tell a very convincing story, and it just hasn't happened yet. And I think episode 4 kind of did take us in a I think the right direction, and I am not to go forward, but yeah, I just don't think the show has to focus.
You just went forward. What do you mean not to go forward? You went forward. Imran, how many fucking times this guy got to say to do this shit?
Oh my god!
So at the end of the episode, wait.
How are you gonna say I'm not trying to go forward, but you just went forward?
He is a time traveler in his defense. See, that's all. It doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true. I can tell you right now, my twin brother is actually the villain of the show. I'll let you guys know. Oh yeah. That's what the reveal.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's the master of this Acolyte, whatever.
Andres was the star from the Bleeding Edge over on Jermaine's YouTube channel because he was dropping his fuck yous at his best the other night.
Yeah, but House of the Dragon.
His fuck you game was tight, son.
Exactly. Anyway. So overall, I felt coming into this, I wasn't confident, and I thought episode 4 got me back into the show. That's I'm gonna say to wrap up my.
That's not what I asked you at all, sir. That's not even the question. Wasn't the question at all. But thank you very much, sir. Either way, it's still always a good solid contribution for you, even when you don't answer the question. Thank you, sir. Anyways, Cyber, sir, your thoughts going through episode 3. And yeah, I mean, why not follow Andres and just talk about episode 4 too?
Time cop. Anyways, I mean, episodes 1 through 3 have been utter chaos, utter stupidity, utter nonsense that have been the 3 worst episodes of any Star Wars series I've seen. I mean, once you hit rock bottom, you kind of just hit rock bottom. There's really the only way to go from there is to go back up. But even at that, when your first 3 episodes are complete just failures, unfortunately, it's hard to see any positivity in the rest of the episodes when you literally put all your work into making those first 3 episodes trash. So, it's hard to really think that anything is better, especially when you're so particularly critiquing every single thing you see. So every episode you're just going to be critiquing because you're so used to doing that because of how crappy the episodes prior to it was. So I really had no hopes going into this episode that we're going to be talking about, or the next episode after that. So you know, I am at where I'm at with where we are at in this wonderful, amazing lesbo witch opera.
I wish can you guys see what happened to my joint? Has anybody ever rolled a joint and tried to smoke it and had the joint just fall apart completely?
That is tragic. That is a tragic waste.
Look at how bad that motherfucker looks. I mean, that's unsmokable, bro. I cannot smoke that. It's wide open. Motherfucker fell apart on me, dude. I blame you, Andres. Over here trying to fuck up my high and shit. Can't be having that. Anyway.
Excuse me. Blame Cyber. Why me? You're fuck.
Why would I blame Cyber, sir?
Well, blame him. He's your host for a long time, not me. I'm new here for 2 years. Don't take out the Latino boy here.
How can you be new and still be here for 2 years?
Well, in this timeline.
Oh my god, this is getting confusing, Cyber. I don't know if I can handle too much more of this. I was going to give you the Shogun. Andres, I was going to give you the Shogun Award tonight, no matter what. But like now, I don't know about all that shit.
No, I don't care about the Shogun Award. Just leave me alone. That's all.
What were you going to say, Cyber?
I was just going to say I'm surprised it took you this long to understand how complicated Time Cop is, and that, you know, no matter what we do, he's always going to be that complicated mess. So
that's true. That's true. You know. Anyways, guys, the Shogun Award, just to be clear, is the award that we give out here to the highest, the best contributor on the panel at the end of the night, right? And we're trying to be more vigilant about actually handing it out. Cyber and I have different metrics that we use to, like, you know, figure out who's our pick, right? But at the end of the night, I will pick someone from the panel as the Shogun Award winner, as the #1 contributor. You could be the best contributor because you're the funniest person on the show. Drop the dopest knowledge, like Jason, right from jump or whatever, you know, like it doesn't matter. It could be anything, right? You could take your shirt off and just like go shirtless during the show, like and just show some real nuts. You know what I'm saying? And be like, here we go, I'm going shirtless. You know what I'm saying? You get the Shogun Award for that. So listen, before we start episode 4, I'm actually going to play a trailer. We haven't played the Acolyte, one of the Acolyte trailers for a while. So just to kind of get the energy going a little bit, right? And show us some of the good parts of the Acolyte. Let me play a trailer.
There's good parts?
Yeah. I mean, there's this scene in episode 6. This scene is going to happen. There you go, baby. See?
It's the season finale. Yeah.
That's that force scissor. You gotta respect that shit.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
Jedi are being hunted.
She was my student. I trained her. Let me be the one to bring her in.
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan. Some sort of shift to tip the scales. It's time to face the past. Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. If you want to pull the thread and change everything, and pull it.
What are you?
most definitely. And Garrett, just to be fair, don't forget about my boy, your boy, fucking Yord, boy, motherfucker. Yord is a badass, bro. He just does not get treated fairly on the show, man. He's always getting his ass. He's always getting shit talked by like all the females and shit and everything. But Yord is dope, bro. He's the man.
Is he though? He's kind of like that dude at work who thinks he's the manager, but he's not really the manager.
Nah, dude, Yord is untapped potential, motherfucker. He just nobody will let him shine.
I love that scene where he's like, I don't know what he's like ironing his shirt and he's shirtless, and they walk in and he's like, oh, so sorry. I'm like, what is it? Is they ironing his shirt? Or they iron the Jedi robes or something? You know?
If I was ripped like that,
and then Jackie puts him in his place and shit and whatnot, and she's like, Yord, put your fucking shirt on.
Yeah.
Right?
He just did his laundry, you know. He caught him off guard.
That's right.
Why was that necessary, Leslie Headland? Why did you have to have that? Why did you have to have that character say that to Yord and like emasculate him like that?
Don't they have dry cleaning also?
He's going to the space gym and shit, fucking 5 days a week and shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker's ripped, right? Shit.
Yeah, they walked in on him. Yeah, I'd be like, "What are you doing in my place?
For real?
Get out of here!"
You should have complimented Yord. You should be like, Yord, you're fucking chiseled, bro. I'd fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you fuck cat girls, but like, we can get down, right? Hook me up. I'll give you my pager number. Anyways, so episode 4, the title of episode 4, I believe, is Day. This show has the worst titles. They mean nothing. Like they don't connect to the episodes at all. Like they're nothing at all.
It's just
I don't even know what the fuck day is supposed to mean. It's directed by Alice Garcia Lopez and written by Claire Kishel and Corey Adana. Essentially, it starts off with us being introduced to Kalnaka, right? On Kohar, okay? And he's just trying to make his fucking stew, bro. Like, seriously, leave the man alone. Leave the Wookiee alone. Try to make his stew. Then we move on and see Jackie, the cat girl, doing her stick trading and shit, whatnot, getting ready to get her saber on later on and shit with her under the Padawans. Totally dope. Jedi's discussing May's training and who her master might be. Don't know who their names are, but they're Jedi's. Who gives a fuck? That one guy looks really fucking cool.
Hey, we do know who he is.
Yeah, penis head.
That's Kiadi Mundi.
Okay, there you go. I'm glad that you knew who he was.
Here's a problem though, is according to canon, prior to this episode dropping, is he wasn't alive yet. So
yeah, but where did it say that? How do we know he's not? Like Yoda was not
in the credits. In the credits, it said it was Kiadi Mundi.
No, it is him. But like,
right.
Have they established his age? He could be.
They had. Yeah, if you take what you want out of Wikipedia, but it had his birth year in Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
But here's my point with it. And this is one of my complaints about Lucasfilm, is that why didn't they go look at Wikipedia and go, "Hey, bro, we can't make this Kiadi Mundi. He ain't live yet."
That's a good point.
Anyway, sorry.
Do they have a dating site portion of Wikipedia?
You want to date some Wookiees, Jeff? I think you can find a nice Wookiee. Settle down.
Yeah, dude. Any chick that can make the Wookiee noise and shit, whatnot. Yeah. I'm down to get her number. All right. So this dude shows up again. This motherfucker Kamir or whatever. Why he's even in the series, I have no idea, bro. He has no place in this episode at all. He's there with May on Kofar to like, I guess, help her find fucking Kanaka or whatever. And he's just pointless. Like he doesn't have any relevance to the show whatsoever. But so this dude shows up, right, with May. They have some scenes walking around on Kofar, whatever. They do some back and forth, right? And I'll stop there. So up at that point of the episode, right, before we get into Soul actually discussing with the green skin master Jedi chick, what they're gonna do with all that. But just what we just worked with right there, right? The stick trading with the cat girl Jedi or whatever, and the discussion on who trained May. Okay, OSHA somehow fucking for some reason showing up at the stick, cyber trading of Jeckies for some reason. Like I found that to be very odd. Like, why would she show up to say goodbye to her or whatever? They're not like best friends or some shit or whatever, So up until that point is what we're gonna go off to before Soul actually impeaches, the Master Jedi chick. I'll go to you first, Inrod. Your thoughts on the intro? Anything you want to highlight? Have at it, sir.
Well, already, I'm a little disappointed. It did my boy Kelnaka dirty. I saw a Wookiee Jedi. I was looking forward for this Wookiee Jedi to do some cool shit. What do I see? He's cooking. All right, fine. He's cooking. That's about all he gets to do, and we'll get into what happens later. But interesting detail.
He's making his stew, Imran. Come on, bro.
His stew, but there's a Wookiee Jedi. You could do more badass things, like lift a big log or something. He's sitting there making stew out of grass. Yeah. Just chilling. I get it. He's hiding out. He needs some me time, kind of like Torben. You don't want to talk to anybody. But you notice on the wall, there's the little dots and swirly signs from the witch sisters there. So I like that little detail that something affected him, and because we don't know the whole story. And why is he drawing this stuff like it's a true detective episode?
I actually thought that was some of the paintings he drew when he was huffing paint.
I mean, I bet he's got a lot of nice flower to smoke out there on that fake set ass planet. Why does it look like they shot this in the fucking Rainforest Cafe? Can anyone answer that question? Jesus, sorry. Sometimes this forest set really bugs me.
Naka got less screen time than fucking Trinity.
I know, and I was looking forward to Wookiee Jedi. Anyways, yeah, and then what happened? That's mostly my input. I'll let other people talk about the rest of it. But they did my boy Kelnaka.
You're saving your venom for that green fucking skin Master Jedi bitch. I know it.
Nobody likes her.
I don't blame you. Cyberneticshark, sir, you can go next, sir, because you're my buddy. I enjoyed guesting with you on that show with the MAM boys the other night. It was fun, sir.
You mean last night?
Last night. I'm sorry, sir. I get confused by things at times. That's why you're there, sir, to keep me in line.
Oh, is that it?
I mean, look at me, sir. I'm introducing myself to new guests dressed up as a fucking Tusken Raider, bro.
Well,
I give it 10 out of 10.
That's just how it is. That's just how it is. So what's the question, sir?
It can be anything, man. You pick. Whatever question you want to work with, Cyber. You're my co-host. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We got that ESP connection and shit, motherfucker. Right? You just create your own question and no. The intro, sir, those little slides I pulled and shit, whatnot, those scenes go up until the point where Soul walks up to the green skin, sister chick, Jedi Master chick or whatever, whatnot, and they flush it out and shit.
Okay. In all honesty, it was just pretty basic. It definitely was probably the least stupid that I've seen it be so far in the series so far. It was.
What about the stick trading? So the stick trading was powerful, bro.
No, it wasn't. That was nonsense. Anyways, basically that intro, like everyone said, Soul has really been the biggest character that's been in the series so far that is anything worthy of redeeming or anything that's enjoyable to watch. And he did a great job. Once again, got to reiterate, he learned how to speak English in 4 weeks to be able to play this character. I give him hella props for that, and the fact that he sounds like he's been doing this for years is amazing. And I think that he was the best part of that intro beginning, especially when, he's about to go up against that supposed leader chick there, the green lady. And he definitely is the heart and soul of the series so far. And I really enjoyed pretty much anything he does. So out of that beginning sequence, he was my favorite portion of it. But overall, I just thought it was just a basic beginning, really nothing important I felt or anything interesting. It just was kind of the beginning, to, like I said already, this trash of a trash series so far. So it didn't. There was nothing in it that really pepped me up. Let's put it that way. So pretty basic, and part of episode 4 of the Acolyte.
I've been trying to learn how to Spanish for 4 years, and all I've been able to manage out of that is how to ask how much for sucky sucky boom boom. That's all I got. So hats off to the soul actor, dude. He learned English in 4 weeks, bro. Motherfucker should get a goddamn medal for that shit. Garrett.
Hey, and by the way, I didn't know. I actually had no idea that he learned English in 4 weeks. That's insane. That's
Bro,
nuts.
I'm serious. Can you imagine how pissed off you'd be if you made all that effort for the Acolyte?
Yeah, I guess. Well, okay. So one thing I will say about this kind of segment of scenes, what's up with all these like Jedi subcommittees? I keep waiting to see the Jedi High Council, and I'm like, oh man, maybe we'll get to see a little bit of that, or maybe we'll get to, but it's like, no, this is the subcommittee of the subcommittee that investigates Sith Lords every 100-some years. And I'm like, it's kind of cool to see a lot of Jedi discussing, and it seems that they really care about this. One thing that seems strange to me too is like, so they keep talking about it, especially the Green Jedi, Venestra, I think is her name, Master Venestra.
Yeah, Master Vestra.
Yeah. Well, she keeps making comments like, these will give, we can't let this information out. It'll give our political enemies, clout or whatever. And I just, that whole concept seems kind of odd to me because, we know when we get to like the Clone Wars time frame, especially at the end of the Clone Wars, the Jedi are so suspicious of Palpatine and, that sort of thing. But I would think that, 100 so years before the Clone Wars, or before, I guess, episode 3 or the events of episode 2 or 3, that we would get some sort of, there'd be maybe a little bit better relationship there between the Jedi and the Senate or the government there. But I don't know. I keep getting excited thinking I'm going to see the High Council, but I just, we just don't get it. And I'm like, you guys keep hinting around. Are you guys going to, I think everybody just wants to see a Yoda, right? Everybody just wants to see like a 400- or 500-year-old Yoda, or I guess he'd be about 500, I think, at this point.
800.
800?
Yeah, it's only 100 years before, roughly.
Oh, 100. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
130 from Battle of Yavin, so that would be making 760. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, either way. Yeah.
That's actually close to my body count numbers. It's within range.
7.6.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. So.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry about the awkward silence there. My bad. I should have stepped right up on that. And I should have moved faster.
No, I thought you wanted me to keep going. You just got to do this if you want me to keep rolling. I'll just keep.
Okay, sir. Remember, I can't really see, so
Can you breathe in that thing?
Yes. I can breathe. I just can't really see. The black veil shit or whatever. It's hard to see through. So the screen. I'm just barely making out what's going on in the screen, kind of. Anyways, so switching over here, Mr. Jason, your thoughts, sir, on that part of the episode.
So that part of the episode there, I always like when they go to Coruscant. I love to see Coruscant. I will say that I think the CGI on this could have used a little bit of work. I saw some Clone Wars episodes that I think the CGI looked better than some of this did. But whatever. I still like when they go to I like when I see the Jedi in this environment, this thing. And now I'm not in the committees and subcommittees, so you could lose a few of those. I mean, the whole premise at the beginning of this episode was Venestra telling Soul he has to come back so they could talk about it. And then all she did was turn around and send him right back out. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
It reminds me of one of my favorite memes, and it's as you leave a meeting, it's like, well, there was another meeting that could have been handled with an email. This is exactly what this was. There's no reason for them to have had to go back, except to see Kiadi Monday to get the whole fan base in an uproar because they screwed up his birthday, right? So I don't know. It seems like the whole premise of that messed up a lot more than it actually accomplished. I also I don't know what the hate is with Venestra Rowe. Now I will say this: I'm completely indifferent to her. I don't think she's terrible. I don't think she's great. I also don't think she's providing anything to the show. So maybe that's the issue. You could have filled her spot with with
maybe her
anybody.
and maybe her and Kabir should fucking just like scissor each other and get married and take off or whatever, you know?
Just whatever. I just don't. I don't know. She was the hero of the High Republic novels. I don't know if y'all read or listened to any of those, but she was the hero of those. So that's kind of where she comes from. Now, I don't know who's reading novels that are watching TV. I don't know how many of those besides me that does that. So maybe that's one of the issues there.
Let's see how many big acting roles that chick gets when her wife's not fucking there to hire her.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who. Never heard of her before. So I've heard of some of the others, but not her. I don't know. That whole scene with the Jedi was a little odd, but I guess it was kind of typical of the bureaucracy that the Jedi was becoming that we then see in episode 1 and 2, so on and so forth. And Garrett was mentioning the political enemies. I just assume that's people who want better control. I mean, I think about it in our own political environment where you got Congress who wants to oversee all these 3-letter alphabet agencies and stuff. And the 3-letter alphabet agencies are always fighting and pushing back. And I don't know. I think it's just the same thing. I don't know that I necessarily need to see it on screen, and I don't need to hear about it. I don't know what it's bringing to the table. I don't know why we can't go to the High Council. I honestly think that if you took me to the High Council, you would actually give me more for this show than what I'm getting so far. Again, throw Yoda in there. I mean, kind of like in Phantom Menace. I mean, did he ever leave that chair until he went to Qui-Gon's funeral? I mean, you could do that in this episode, in this series. I mean, that'd be cool. You'd get people, wow, Yoda was in there. I want to check that out. So, and he'd have a neat comb over because he's 150 years younger. That'd be awesome. So,
you have to remember that that's the opposite of what they said that they were trying to do with the series. The whole premise of this was that this was new Star Wars, where they were actually going to use the High Republic era, right, to launch forward in a new direction of Star Wars, where they were going to shift away from the legacy characters.
You baited me into it. All right. New Star Wars. Twins. Is that new Star Wars?
All I'm saying is, hold on, Jason.
I want to hear this. This is great.
All I said was that was supposed to be the premise.
I know. So I'm questioning, not you. I'm questioning.
So we knew it was coming. We knew that we probably weren't going to see any of the old guard characters.
Well, probably not characters, but it's not characters to me that makes it old Star Wars. It's storylines. I mean, they I said this on our last podcast. They don't have an original thought. They're doing twins, Luke and Leia. They're doing the Immaculate Conception, Anakin.
Anakin.
They're doing what else did I say, Garrett? I'm drawing a blank. The witches. We had the witches of Dathomir. It's just a copy of that. I had 4, 5, 6 items. I can't remember all of them now, but I'm not a creative guy. I'm a freaking engineer. Okay. You give me an idea. I will tell you. I'm a structural guy. I can tell you whether it's going to fall down or not. Okay. But what I can't do is come up with some sort of great idea. So creative people, God love them. We need them. But what I can tell you is when your creative idea sucks. And that's part of the problem out here. Give me something new. They fed us this line that this is going to be dark side led. And maybe these last 3 episodes, or last 4 episodes after this one that we're talking about, maybe that'll redeem it and it'll truly be dark side led. But so far, all I'm seeing is Jedi committee meetings and an argument between twin girls.
Let's tie a bow on it, Jason. Wrap it up, baby.
That's it. Rant over. Back to you.
All right. Andre's a pop culture guy, sir.
I agree with the majority here. It's just a jump with a dump.
Your audio went to shit. Move closer to your microphone.
Sorry, my bad.
That's what.
I have microphone. Oh, totally sorry. Anyway, sorry. I agree with everyone. I feel like this beginning part was just a dump load exposition that we already know from the previous episode. Like we know that, like the targets are these 4 Jedis. It's like I don't need like this hologram. It's like 2 reds. Here's the 2 dead, and then we have this one last. Well, not last, but like this other one before Soul is going to be the next target, right? And I just don't understand that. And I agree with I get we're in the new like before the timeline. I mean, I want to bring up the show Soke. The show brought a cool cameo. I was expecting, C-3PO, came in and helped that green soldier during that what was it, like meeting in one of those episodes in Ahsoka last year. Like that was a really great surprise, and it connected to the Star Wars. Like you could easily brought some like one Star Wars character that we know, and like it'd be kind of awesome, just like a quick cameo of like Yon Windu, Master Windu, played by Samuel L. Jackson here, and it's like, oh, like who's here? It's there, and then that's it, and it's like, okay, he was there before, before he became Master Windu. And yeah, I don't get why we're focusing on this like one Jedi. I get that the actress is married to the showrunner, which is kind of like, okay, but it's nothing new. I mean, every filmmaker does that, like with their spouse or family member or whatnot. But yeah, it was okay. It's like we didn't really need that.
C-3PO, was it Ahsoka?
Was it R2D2? I'm sorry. Oh god, don't fuck with me, Jeff. You know what I'm talking about.
It was Shaquille O'Neal.
No, that's Shaquille O'Neal, please. Or Michael B. Jordan.
Are you talking about fucking? Are you talking about Wong?
No. It's a long time. No, not Juan. No,
Huang.
No. When no. It was in the later episode when the Mary Wiston character was on trial because she disobeyed a direct order with something. And
it was 3PO. Came in with a message from Leia.
Yeah, Princess Leia. That's what I'm talking about. See, they could have done that for the sequence, like bring someone like to connect the universe. That's it. Like nothing special. Like connect.
Well, sir, instead they went with that stupid fucking little robot tool fucking thing that fucking that OSHA has.
The pip droid. I like that.
Yeah, that's what you got, motherfucker.
They did bring Kiadi Mundi in, so that was.
Well, there you go. But nobody knows him. Come on, really?
Yeah.
He was in a Phantom Menace for a second. I want.
He had one of the greatest lines.
I hate that fucking Pip Boy thing, Rod. So fuck you.
Oh my
There's
God.
a fuck you for you, brother.
I
hate that. I hate that thing, bro.
It does everything and gets you out of any jam that you can write it out yourself out of. It's fantastic.
It's like a Swiss Army knife, but Star Wars.
Yeah, it just does whatever
everything.
Does whatever you need it to in the moment.
It's bullshit. It's a bullshit addition to the fucking show. But either way, Andres, back to you, sir. Back to you, Andres. If you want to finish up what you were saying, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, that's all. I feel like this is. I think this is how we see a show without Dave Filoni. Like I feel like if we don't have Dave Filoni, this is what we're gonna get. This full of crap that doesn't even try to be serious and take the lore of Star Wars like in a direction. Like I just don't understand where we're doing this show. I mean, it doesn't fit the overall plan that they're trying to do with their upcoming projects. It's just it reminds me. But that's all I have to say with the beginning. It's very useless. It's like we know already who's the targets and all that.
I thought it was kind of a bold move. I don't know if you guys noticed or kept up with it, but like several weeks before the show actually dropped, they started dropping like Hasbro, like the Black Series action figures for the show.
Oh.
And I was like, man, that seems kind of like a weird, bold move for them to start doing that, or at least well, maybe not dropping them yet, but advertising all these characters and stuff. And I kind of thought that was an interesting move. I was like, well, we don't really know anything about these characters yet. What have you given me that says I need to go get these characters, at the store, other than the fact that it's just new Star Wars characters? I can go pick them up and add them to my collection, I suppose, from that perspective. But again, I think so far it's like, they introduced these characters at the beginning. It's like, and again, like some of us have said, it's like there's really only, maybe, one, maybe two characters that we think are redeemable enough that I'm going to say, hey, I want to go and add, so-and-so to my collection or whatever. So I don't know, just a weird side note there. I just kind of thought that was odd that but they started doing that, before the show dropped.
Well,
kind of weird.
I want to go ahead. I want to play a scene from the actual episode. I have the scene where the Jedi discuss the trading of May, and I'm going to go ahead and play it right now with Ki-Adi Mundi.
She is fast, but weak. Her emotions guide her every choice in combat.
Yet there is skill there.
Yes, someone has trained her.
But who?
She doesn't know her master's identity, but she fears him.
An apprentice who doesn't know their master. It's absurd.
Could this be a splinter order? Or something worse?
If there were a splinter,
This girl could become a major threat.
she's not disciplined.
Yet she eluded you. And she killed 2 Jedi Masters.
Yes, but May targeted these 3.
4. Including you, Sol. The 4 Jedi stationed on her home planet when she was a child. How odd. She turns up all these years later, trained by one of our own.
You think a Jedi taught her?
Even a hologram can tell me that.
We must alert the High Council.
The High Council would be obliged to inform the Senate. A scandal like this would inspire fear and mistrust. We should handle this ourselves. We must learn who trained her. Master Holden, extract Kalnaka from his post on Kofar and intercept May.
And if she doesn't come peacefully?
Not expecting it to come to that. This meeting is adjourned.
Master Bonestra, please.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
I did, as soon as I knew.
No, Sol. 16 years ago. Why didn't you tell me there was a chance this poor girl survived?
If I thought there was, of course I would have. But I saw her fall. No one could have survived that. Let me be the one to bring her in.
Your personal connection with her and her sister is not a benefit here.
May's objective is not solely her own. You must know that.
I fear May is only a small part of her master's larger plan. A plan that is difficult to see. Some sort of shift. Something to tip the scales.
If she resists arrest, and Holden neutralizes her,
It won't come to that.
then the Her Master will truly be lost to us. She will not surrender without getting something in return.
Do we have something she wants?
The Jedi live in a dream.
Okay, I'm glad I'm actually really glad I played that because it goes right into where we're at in the episode moving forward. It ties up and covers that scene with Venestra, right, and Sol, which is what I was going to talk about next. So that's out of the way. We get I don't have any images, but there is the scene where on the ship, Yord is giving like the briefing, right? And the whole shit goes on with the stupid Pip-Boy droid and fucking goddamn OSHA and Basil is fucking retarded. And like again, fucking Yord gets burnt, dude. Like May's not, OSHA's not paying attention and shit. Yord's like, is something wrong? And OSHA's like, oh, very comprehensive breakdown, Yord or whatever, you fucking prick. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking pathetic, dude, the way they treat Yord. So this is Yord giving some shit fucking, for Basil to smell that smells like Kalnaka to go find him, right? May is going to kill Kanaka with her full strength, bitch. You know how she gets down. Fight me with your full strength. Every time she says that shit, all I can think of is Shuri in Black Panther Wakanda Forever when she said that. She said her first Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever! Weak ass shit. Kaldaka is still trying to make his stew, bro. He's like, what the fuck, Imran? Leave me alone.
You gotta slow cook that shit.
This is some slow cooking shit over here. Brisket over here. Kaldaka, he's boiling brisket, motherfucker. Yeah. This is some serious shit over here with the stew. We're going back to it, right? The show didn't go back to it. We're going back to it because somebody needs to, care about the shit. So we got the whole Jedi squad following Basil, the fucking weird alien tracker motherfucker, right? On Kofar now. Look at the line of these motherfuckers. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Now weak ass May wants to turn herself in to tell Naka she's a little bitch now, right? First it was fight me with all your force or whatever. Now she wants to go turn herself in and shit and whatnot, and like sets up Kamir to get trapped in like a trap and shit. Okay, that dirty bitch. So I'm gonna stop right there. God, I can't hate her. I fucking hate her. She's such a bad actress. Seriously. She's bad at both characters. It'd be one thing if she was like decent at one of them. She's bad at both of them. They just suck. So it's just not a good situation. What's up, Raymond? If you're still there, bro, booze and chill in the house. So I'll start off with you this time, Mr. Andre the Pop Culture Guy. You can start us off, sir. What are your thoughts on those scenes? What are your thoughts on the big squad of Jedi going to team up and go to Kofar and shit and whatnot, track down Kildaka? And what do you think about stupid Kamir showing up to fucking hang out with May for no reason, and talk about nothing, right? Like, and her deciding to chicken out and go turn herself in and all this shit. Yeah. And what do you think about this? What do you think about Basil?
All right, first off, when I saw that creature, I was like, "Oh my god, that's Jeff, my boy Jeff. He's here in the show."
Where do you come up with this shit? Cyber
first looks like Basil.
Cyber first I was that stupid fit. First I was the gulper, right?
The gulper.
Now I'm Basil.
Basil.
Is he the gopher from Caddyshack? What are you talking about?
Oh no, it's from the Fallout show.
Oh yeah.
Like, the little big creature from episode 3 or 4. Yeah, that was Jeff. Perfect. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we need a cute creature, so we got Basil here. Okay, right? He's cute. We're gonna sell toys. I totally see that. I mean, yeah, but yeah, it brought me joy that Jeff was in the show. I was like, yes, Jeff is in the show. You're rocking it, sir. You're a good actor. Anyway, yeah, the whole May turn was so bad. Like, where was okay, I get that she knows her sister's alive, so like I get that, but that turn was so 180 left field. Like there had to be some reason for her to actually do the turn besides knowing that her sister is alive. So this was such a worse turn, and her friend, it's just me. Is he the master, right? Like, why he's there? If you're making that twist, like he seems like the villain in the show, right? Because like when we get to another scene, he like randomly the villain comes in towards the end of the episode. Like I feel like he is the villain in this show. I feel like it. It's like they're hiding the twist so badly in the show. Like that's what I mean. The show is so bad with the writing. They're not even making the effort to hide the villain's mystery. Like that thing with the helmet. They're making it so obvious that it could be him, and that's just so bad. So yeah, the turn of May was so bad, and it's like I agree with Jeff. I really don't like that character, and I don't know, just like really. And I don't know, you guys. It's kind of weird. Like when we see all the Jedi, it's really cool. I do like the projection sign, like the wardrobe that the Jedi use. Like it's very different from the one we usually see in the past Star Wars stuff. I just think the sets just reminds me of Star Trek, like the original Star Trek. Like when they're in that fortress, it's like like it's how do I say, like space, the new frontier where no man has gone before, Star Wars, da, na, na, na. And we land to this like random planet, like just rocks and trees, and it's like, wait, I thought we were in Star Wars. Why we're in Star like it's literally Star, like the new Star Trek films, like the new Star Trek shows look way more epic than this show is trying to be. It's just so bad. But yeah, so I mean, these sequences are okay, but it just goes downhill when May turns to good for some reason. I mean, just so bad.
Okay, sir. I will go over to you, Garrett.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Andres a little bit. I felt that the May switch was a little bit, maybe not forced. And Jason and I discussed this in our last podcast. Was that, I understand that, like, we're not in May's head at this point, right? Like, I mean, we can't really, we don't really know what she's thinking. We don't really know what's going through her mind. So we don't really get the benefit of that like maybe like a lot of times a book would give, right? Like kind of going in depth to her emotions in this moment or whatever. But I agree that it does feel a little bit weird. It feels like, at one point she's running through the woods and she's like, all right, we got to find, the Jedi Master here and kill him. And then like they do a cut scene and then it comes back and she comes out of the woods and she's like, you know what? No, I've changed my mind. It does seem it is a little odd. But, and it could be that, at least the way that I interpreted it was that, maybe she's just, I don't know, maybe she's like, I guess, an opportunist potentially. Maybe she's that type that goes, back and forth and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm trying to think if there's some things like redeemable about like this kind of segment of the episode. I did find it odd that there were so many Jedi going on this, if they're just going to try to intercept an acolyte, right? Like to prevent her from killing one of their own. Yeah, I think what was there, like 7, 8 Jedi potentially? It seemed like a lot to go actually on a like a little, what I would deem to be maybe like, because when we saw that Sol and Yord, was it the previous episode or episode 2, where they intercept May and they kind of have a standoff. And she has to use the Force to create smoke and fog so she can escape. So if 2 Jedi would be enough to stop her, then why'd they send 8? I don't know. It just seemed a little odd to me that they chose to do that. But I mean, nonetheless, more Jedi. I mean, it's pretty cool, and some of them are redeemable. Like, I mean, I like Jekki a lot. I think Jeki's a cool character. So yeah, I don't know. That's really all my thoughts. But yeah, Basil is it's an odd. I thought it was odd too that Yord said while everybody else was taking Shriwook, he decided to learn whatever language Basil speaks or whatever. So I don't know. Kind of a different thing. I don't think we've seen his species before in Star Wars yet. So it might be like a first occurrence for him. So
if I was going to learn an alien language, I want to learn one of like at least one where the female species of the aliens I could bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, right? But either way, good for Yord. Going over to you, Imran. Your thoughts, sir.
You don't speak Tuscan? I thought you speak Tuscan.
Sir, do you know how difficult it is to speak Tuscan? I've been in training for years. It's very difficult.
The alphabet has 4,000 characters. I understand. It's very hard to learn. Look, I thought Basil was adorable. Give me a Babu Frick and Basil like spin-off team up. How much fun would that be? They could just go around fixing things and making little noises. That'd be great. The flip of May, like you said, it comes out of nowhere. I don't understand. She's like, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna turn myself in. Really?
Out of nowhere.
What do you think you can do?
Just to see before she was like, more than anything, I want to kill these Jedi.
Yeah. And so I was like, you killed 2 Jedi. What do you think's gonna happen? Like, what are you doing? But Garrett, your comment about the Force of Jedi they send, kind of too much Force, right? The Jedi in this whole series, I don't know why they're making them out to be like fascist cops, like the LAPD in the 90s. Like they're all like, come on with your hands up, and then they just shoot you anyway. Like, I don't understand. This is like sending the SWAT team. Like, this is not a good look. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
But it may be a case of like Star Trek red shirts, right? You need some cannon fodder also of people you don't know just to bring up the body count. But yeah, a lot of this episode is such filler. This whole thing to the end could have been done in like 10 minutes and you could have had a nice fight. I found so much of this episode padded out and filler, and every piece of dialogue is exposition. It's just, yeah, it's not very elegant dialogue, let's say.
It's all filler. It's just a big one
filler.
big. It's all filler. Like that's why I said some of the characters aren't even necessary in the series. Cyberneticshark, sir.
Okie dokie, artichoke. This section, just like everyone said, kind of mentioned, as you just mentioned, Jeff, filler episode, a lot of unnecessary characters that really don't do much for the plot. This section of the film or of this episode really is just kind of, basically to get to point A to point B is really what's going on here. There's really nothing of substance here. Once again, Soul shines throughout this section, I feel, as well. I think that majority of the other characters who, you have bigger names like Daphne Keene's character, who I don't think it's enough screen time to really show what Daphne Keene's possible of, because she was really fantastic in the film Logan. So, I don't think she's getting enough of the airtime in this series to really shine for what she really can do. So I'm a little disappointed that, she hasn't gotten more screen time. And, and really show that she's a decent actress, which, she could freaking skate goddamn rings around Angela Steinberg, who is like freaking watching paint dry. This chick is just so bad at acting. You watch and you're like, I don't get what you're trying to say to me, even when it's purposely saying yes. This chick doesn't know how to act to save her life. I swear to God. Like, we've been in a situation and she'd be like, oh, you have to do this. You have to do this acting thing. And otherwise everyone's going to die. And she's just like, and we all die. That's just how bad she is. And, like I mentioned before, I saw her in another movie called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies a couple years back. And just like this show, it was nothing but wokeness. But anyways, she was horrible in that too. And she was like supposedly the main star. So I just don't get what people see in this chick, because I don't think she can act to save her life. But anyways, that scene with the unnecessary guy, as Jeff had mentioned, that was just along for kind of the ride in this episode, and he had like that brief part when we saw that cantina or whatever where May was hiding out. Basically just like, that sequence there where all of a sudden she decides to tell him that I'm gonna give myself up. I was just kind of like going, what the hell? You're supposed to be a Sith, and you're just going to go, I'm going to give myself up. I'm like, literally, like, what kind of writing is this? I'm like, this is like having a 3-year-old write Star Wars for us, I feel. Like, yes, I am going to give myself up because I'm a good little person now. And it's like, you're supposed to be the evil one, and Osha's supposed to be the good one. So you're kind of, mixing that up. And because we know you're the same actress playing the same person, I think she got things messed up there a little bit. But anyways, just to kind of finish that off, that sequence I thought was, boring. And
Cyber, do you see this shit on the screen? Our buddy Ira went to Thailand and banged his first 2 prostitutes, sir, and he didn't even use a condom.
Yo, bro is living on the edge right there. He's living full life. Jesus.
Good for him. I hope he made sure to check they didn't have a penis.
Anyway, sir, did you have any other thoughts that you'd like to drop?
That was it, sir.
Okay, sir. I just figured you'd be excited and want to know about Ira's Thailand trip, So I'm happy for him. I also question the no condom deal in Thailand. To be honest with you, I probably would strap up if I was over there. But I don't know. It would just depend on my mood, probably. You know, and if it was a lady boy or not. But Jason, I didn't forget about you, bro. You get to chime in. What's up?
I'm still over here. So now I actually think I'm going to differ with you a little bit. I actually think Amanda Stenberg it plays May better than she does OSHA. So I don't think her portrayal of May is terrible, and I can detect a distinct difference in how she portrays them. May, she portrays much more confident, at least up to this point. And OSHA seems to be much more tentative and not sure.
She plays May what she believes a man would be, because she's non-binary in real life. You know what I'm saying? So that's her version of being a man, right? Yeah. And then OSHA is her version of her female side, her being a woman.
Yeah, now that may very well be true. So, and I can see that she certainly plays them much more, again, May with much more confidence, and OSHA with much more tentativeness. As far as this thing, the walk in the woods with Kimmer, however you say his name. I am on record of telling Garrett, I think in episode 2, that Khmer was going to be her Sith master. So just for the record, he's a clown. I think he's playing it up, and I think he is giving a few little hints there that she's not picking up. So we shall see when episode 5, whenever everybody talks about that, right? But I don't know. As Garrett was saying, we were talking about the other day when we did our recording for episode 4 that this is what you miss when you're watching a TV show versus reading a novel or something like that. You don't know what's going on in the character's mind. I know people complain that Anakin's fall was too fast in episode 3, but I don't know if y'all have ever read the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Okay, if you've never read a Star Wars book, go get the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Fantastic book, period. And one of the top Star Wars books ever. So I can't remember the author's name. It was right there.
Matthew Stover is his name.
Matthew Stover. Fantastic book.
It is a good book. I've read it.
But it gives you a lot of insight into what was going on, into what the character's thinking. So, I'm trying to find some redeeming qualities here with some of it, because it does seem on screen a little bit rapid. So one thing we don't know if she's sitting here and she's been plotting this the whole time. And unless you're watching Magnum P.I. from Tom Selleck in the 80s and he does the narration, tell you what he's thinking, we're not going to get it here. So it looks like it's fast, and maybe it was. She could be impetuous. That's one of the things that does signify the dark side, is they have a little bit of impetuousness to them, where they just, that they roll with the flow. I mean, look at Sidious the whole time in the prequel trilogy. He's rolling with the flow all the time. It doesn't matter what comes up. They're things that are proceeding exactly as I have foreseen. I'm like, bro, how'd you come up with that? You didn't know that was going to happen. So maybe she's operating with a little bit of that, just a little bit. But and she's just rolling with the situation that she has at hand. So I don't know. It's kind of my thoughts. Yeah, it was a little bit quick. I think that there's probably a little more to it. I'm trying to think positive thoughts with some of it too. So there's that. So,
well, let's be realistic here. Again, there's a lot of filler in this episode, so there really isn't a lot to say about some of these scenes. There just isn't much detail, or
don't disagree with that. Yes, you're right, Jeff.
It really, I mean, the episode does not take off until the final 2 minutes of the episode. That's the only time when it finally does something for you in the audience, almost.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
No. So I believe that Ira was wondering why the bearded lady had not joined the panel tonight.
No one's going to marry you, Haranam. You have a beard. No one's going to date you, Haranam. You have a beard. No one's going to be your boyfriend, Haranam. You have a beard. You are not a preference to a lot of men. And then I'll get really feminine men message me, but that's not who I'm.
Rod, nobody's going to date you, sir. You have a beard.
Listen, I have a beard and I do fine. She'll be fine. I think she's overthinking.
Are you married, sir?
No, I am. It's a joke. Come on, this is all
I know it's a joke. It's
a simulation anyways.
Jason, Garrett, did you guys hear about this new Olympic event they're going to add in the Olympics this year?
Watch the guy in the middle. He is amazing because boom, he's already done. That's some great time. I mean,
look at that. See? Now,
that's world record. That's world record styles, right?
That's a new event. They haven't come up with a name for it yet, guys. But you can see that. You'll see that at the Olympics this year. You know, it looks good. You know, definitely very interesting. You know, nice to see a smile on you guys' faces. You know, the Acolyte doesn't make you smile very often, so you need a little inspiration to laugh and smile a little bit here and there on the bleeding edge. So back to the occulty. Weak ass May, you fucker. Basil bumps into May and has a fucking shit fit and starts freaking the fuck out and shit out in the woods and shit, right? He's all fucked up. Some scary looking black dude pops up behind Osha. Watch out, girl. Bitch. About to get your ass. This shit was fucking scary looking. The Sith Lord with the BDSM party mask pops up and confronts. Of course, it's got to be like a one-on-one with Osha, right? It has to be. The Jedi saber up, baby. It was like what? It was like it was very colorful. They're out. They all sabered up as one big squad. This shit was powerful.
Look at all those Jedi boners,
right? And then, of course, this happens.
What is that?
Identify yourself.
Stand down!
Watch out! Run!
And there you go, folks. I'm back in full Tuscan mode now.
Finally, something badass happens, and
there you go.
Roll
a highlight.
Jesus.
There you go. So, folks, this was I moderated this one really quick. It was a short episode and not much happened, but that is what I'm giving you for our final questions before we do our final thoughts and our ratings, and then we plug the fuck out of here. All right. So just to be clear, you saw what I dropped right there. You know what scenes I dropped. We're talking about when the Basil actually finds Kelnaka, right? There is that part where that stupid looking fucking like animated monster comes out and Soul takes it out or whatever in the woods.
Bugs. The bugs on the trees.
Yeah. Kabir gets trapped and May takes off to go like fucking submit to Kelnaka or whatever and give in or whatever all of a sudden, which makes no sense or whatever because literally a scene ago she was like, more than my life I want to kill these Jedi or whatever and all this shit. So I don't know where the fuck that makes no sense at all. How they didn't see that as a contradiction in the writing, I have no idea. But then basically Kelnaka's not even there, dude. I don't know where the fuck he went.
No, he's dead. Remember, she shows up and
oh yeah, he's dead. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. The Sith Lord got his ass. I forgot. He's dead.
Cool.
Poor Kelnaka, bro. He got no screen time and he got fucking killed too.
And his stew wasn't even done. He didn't even get to eat.
I know. Didn't get to eat his stew, bro. He was fucking working on his stew for days. For days. You know what I'm saying?
And he was about to
on that shit.
Yeah.
Kamir didn't like it. He tried it and he hated it, and that's why he killed him. He was just like, I hate this.
May probably ate some of that shit, that sniveling bitch. She probably ate some of that shit in there before she fucking started crying and shit because the master was here with his mask. Anyways, so and then we get fucking that let's be honest, it is a really good fucking creepy ass shot when behind Osha. That creepy ass black silhouette.
When he flicks his hand, that's bad. That's fucking badass. That's bad. He's just like, phoom. And then I was like, yes, lightsabers, throw down, and then roll credits. Fuck you.
That's like me when I roll up on a chick in the dark in my Tusken Raider outfit in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? It's like that, bro. So I'll start off with you, Cyberneticshark, sir. Your thoughts. You can get the first crack on that final segment of the episode. Final, I don't know, whatever, 33.9%, sir.
All right. So, just like everyone says, yeah, this is where the action finally kind of happens, and it's literally like 2 minutes to the end or 2 seconds to the end of the episode. And, that guy comes up behind OSHA and, like, just kind of like, woo, and blows them away with this giant force push. And I was, like, kind of going, what the fuck is going on with these goddamn Sith here? I'm like, you telling me you have 3 episodes showing us these, little ass Jedis and their little powers and little OSHA and May, and they can kind of do some things, and then all of a sudden this Sith is like that's wearing this BDMS mask, as Jeff has mentioned, is able to just go like he's like freaking Darth Sidious or Darth Plagueis. Like, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is stupid. And just like how they did it too, how they visualized it, I was cracking up, like laughing, going, oh my God, that was so digitally done horribly. And, but at the same time, you're kind of like, I was like, I wanted it to be cool. I wanted it to be awesome. But just like with how lame the rest of the episode has been, I was like, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to, make the whole episode any different than the previous 3 episodes. And I'm hoping we get a better idea of this guy and what he's all about and why he's so powerful and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to finding that out at least. But at the same time, it's just like, the Sith have a very strong force presence. They are very powerful. Yes, indeed. But I just feel like how they presented it, and all of a sudden this guy is like the most jacked Sith ever, cracked me up. And I have a funny feeling it's going to be a woman underneath that mask. And so
I agree.
Don't quote me, but I think it's going to be a woman. But anyways, it's going to be the funniest thing when we find out everything about it and just see where this goes. But at the same time, it just felt like, wow, you take the last seconds of this episode to try to make it really good and action-packed, having all the sabers come out. And, the sound, of course, the sound of a lightsaber always sounds really cool. I love the sound of it. It's just really fun. And so I was like, at first I was kind of like, oh, that's going to be cool. And then how it played out, I was like, oh, God, this could have been so much better. And they could have had it longer. Maybe the last 10 minutes of the episode should have been about this and them battling maybe. So hopefully, like everyone's been saying, 5 is better. But I thought for the conclusion of the episode, it was just like the rest of the episode, pretty mediocre. Is an improvement off of the previous episode, most definitely an improvement, but not by much because, like I said before, once you hit rock bottom, it kind of creeps up just a tad bit, a little bit here and there to betterness. But other than that, I thought the ending was pretty basic and very uneventful.
Okay, Jason.
Well, I thought that this was the best scene of the entire series to this point. All the Sith, well, I don't say all the Sith, the majority of the Sith have wore masks, and I think the purpose of him wearing the mask is to keep his identity concealed. Clearly, I think that's the issue. But now this by far was the best scene. And Garrett and I were talking the other day, and one of the concerns expressed was how does this guy take all these Jedi, and one of them at least being a Jedi master, and just use the Force and knock all of them back? And I think number one, they had no idea what they were dealing with. They didn't know this guy was Force sensitive. Probably didn't know he was as powerful as he is. So he took them by surprise. So I don't think that was not an issue for me. But I thought overall the scene was pretty cool. I'm still on record. I think it's Khmer. I think that's who's in it. I don't think it's a female. I think it's Khmer. And I think that's who we're going to see it is. I told Garrett that the 3 options that I came up with is either Khmer, it's going to be one of the mothers, whether the Mother Anastasia or Mother Coral, it's going to be one of those 2, or it's going to be some other third person. And my preference would be some other third person, unless they can write me a good story about the other ones. And as I've already stated, I question whether or not they can write me a good story. So overall, I like this. I did like that Master Soul was the first one to detect that there was something wanky going on behind him. He turned around. But overall, this particular scene, this is what the series is about. Some dark side, powerful force user coming in and wrecking some havoc. So we'll see what happens in episode 5. But if it's more of this, then I'm here for it. We'll see if they can, we'll see in the last half of this season if they can start turning this thing around.
Okay. Andrew's the pop culture guy.
Man, this show really screw us, right? Like, you got two things going. Carry on Moss and a Jedi Wookiee. What I want to see is a Jedi Wookiee with a lightsaber. Come on. That's all I'm asking. That was like a cool image from the trailers. I was like, man, a Wookiee and a Jedi Master. That's so cool. And nope. He's dead. You know, he died. What, because of his soup? Like, that's what you're telling me? He died because of his fucking soup? What's the matter with you, you fucking show? You motherfucking show. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got really angry at this show for killing Wookiee because he made maybe the best soup in the galaxy.
You've been very angry lately, Andre. You're very angry lately, sir.
Well, I think this show is causing me heartbeat heartbeat problems. I'm like I'm having this problem. Anyway, yeah, and then another thing was the bug scene. You could have an awesome bug attack against the Jedis. Like come on. Like, where's the imagination? Like, that could have been a cool action scene, but nope. Just like it was cool how Soul took down the bug, but like it was like, oh, Soul came in, bam, killed the one bug. I was like, oh, really? Why? So lame. It was like I'm surprised they didn't, like, the bug didn't took the red shirt Jedi and like typical Star Trek original series red shirt kills, but nope. So yeah, and yeah, May, wants to turn her in, was like so dumb. Like, I mean, yeah. So overall, it was like a very, very anticlimactic ending for this episode, and I had to agree with a lot of people. I think this was a filler episode. Now, I gotta say, I seen episode 5 today, and I think it's actually the best episode of this series. And I know who is the the Sith Lord Master for May. But it's not a big surprise. Let me say that it's very obvious. It's not like a big deal. But
it's the green skin Jedi Master bitch. It's a green skin Jedi Master bitch, isn't it?
It's Shaquille O'Neal.
I didn't want to say this, but it's actually George Clooney.
It's Scottie Pippen. It's Clyde Drexler.
It was actually that creature, the Basil. Basil was the one. It was him all along. Okay, it was that civilian thing. Oh, by the way, last thing. You Star Wars experts, tell me something. Did a Jedi always bring a civilian? That was the weird thing about this episode, was why they bring Basil. Like, could it have a technology to track down their Wookiee? Like,
no, here's the question. This is what I was thinking the whole time. Hasn't it been established that Jedi can sense each other? We've seen Luke do it, Anakin do it, Leia do it, Rey do it. Why is it so hard for these fuckers to find a motherfucker in the Force? Shouldn't they be like, oh, I sense him, he's over there? That all of this, like, why was it so difficult?
Yeah, I mean,
well, my thing with that was, I mean, man, if Kalnaka doesn't want to be found, leave him alone. Yeah. I mean, he goes off in the woods and they're like trying to ping him, like, hey, you're in danger, and there is that one scene where May comes in to where he's at, and he's sitting in the chair, and she tries to talk to him or whatever and do her whole bit about come at me, whatever. But she finds out, and it looks like there's something sitting either on his desk or the little area that he's got that seems to be like some sort of blinking signal, maybe the Jedi Council or someone is trying to get his attention or something to relay a message. And so the way I interpreted that was, he got killed before he could see that message. At least that's the way I took it.
He wasn't checking his messages. That's for sure.
That's right.
He left them on red. Definitely.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, Garrett, you brought up a good point with that. Like particularly like Yoda when I'm relying on the movie when Order 616 happened. Like he sensed all the Jedi's die. You think the Jedi's can sense one of their own fallen, right? Like, because Soul had that. Soul sensed that the Carrie-Anne Moss character died. I don't know.
And he sensed Torben. When Torben died, he kind of sensed it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's just it took forever for them to find. I'm like, they're right there. Come on, they're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It seemed odd for sure.
Yeah, it's just they're not sticking with the rules of what like the power set is for the Jedi, and that kind of annoys me because like it's very clear how their powers is operate so much in the movies and the TV shows we haven't gotten so far, you know.
Well, hello to Joseph in the comment section. No, I do understand where you're going, Andres. And no, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. It seems like with a lot of the writing and a lot of the flow of these episodes, there's so much contradiction and so much stuff that's just never explained properly. Like and it's not suspenseful though. It's like lazy. It's like stupid. Like they are Trinity. You already killed off Trinity in the first 5 minutes of the show, right? The biggest fucking actor or actress or whatever of the project. You killed her off in the first 5 minutes. Okay. The Wookiee is a Wookiee. Everyone loves Wookiees, bro. Whatever the fuck. Everyone loves Wookiees, bro. You know what I'm saying? My Wookiee fucking sound is rough, bro. It's not. I gotta work on it. But bottom line, everyone loves Wookiees, dude. Like little kids and shit don't even know what a Wookiee is or whatever, or what Star Wars is, but they see a Wookiee and shit. And he's like, whatever. They fucking love that shit. So I'm just saying, you get one in the show, right? You parade them around in the trailers. Right? Just like Trinity, parade him around. There's your fucking Chewbacca. There's your Wookiee with his fucking Jedi and shit. With his saber. A Wookiee Jedi, bro. How often did we get one of those? A Wookiee Jedi, bro. As a Star Wars fan. And what do? We get to his episode. He gets no fucking scene time except for when he's making his stew. And then he gets fucking killed. The fuck is that, bro? Seriously.
However, the other end of it is you can almost respect a show where they're not afraid to kill their lead characters. Also,
it's one thing. It's one. This isn't The Walking Dead. This is The Walking Dead, motherfucker.
Like a 24 Walking Dead, or like Sopranos, where anybody could die at any time.
When The Walking Dead, when the people died in The Walking Dead and The Sopranos, it was good. It was good. It moved the story forward or whatever.
So why isn't it good? It's not good here. Why isn't it?
It doesn't translate over to Star Wars. No, it doesn't work.
All your characters.
Yeah.
Well, because they're killing off the shit everyone wanted to watch the show for.
That's true. I could have used a little Wookiee action with a lightsaber, but nope. R.I.P.
Come on, bro. Come on, let's do it. Let's get it, Rod. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Gareth. What the fuck am I calling you, Gareth? I apologize, sir.
Oh no, I didn't notice.
I'm slightly buzzed. I apologize.
You're fine. Yeah, I mean, kind of, I guess, with a little bit, kind of what's been said. I loved this scene. The whole her OSHA standing there, and I love how they blurred out the background. So it's just kind of this dark, ominous kind of figure that comes into frame. We don't get a close up of this individual, but I loved that. Some of my favorite parts of Star Wars have been when they have gone extremely dark, or they have allowed, a moment to be like they've allowed a Sith to be a Sith. We have that scene in Rogue One where Vader's in the hallway and he starts killing everybody. I love that. I love that scene. It's like we get to see an angry Darth Vader. Love that. Love this scene here. We get to see a strong Sith character come into frame. Now, I will say the only kind of thing that I could sort of compare this to was when Palpatine faces off against Mace Windu and a couple of the other Jedi Masters when they come to arrest him in Episode 3. This is kind of their first. They kind of go into this situation not really sure how to handle this. They, hey, we have what we think is the leader of the Republic here, and we're going to charge him with being a Sith Lord. So we're going to send a group of Jedi Masters in here. We're going to see what happens. I kind of relate it to that. These Jedi are, hey, for all we know, this is some guy who's wielding a lightsaber, but aside from that, we really don't know how to deal with this, how to approach this, other than I would imagine that, Soul, obviously we know Soul felt his presence, and I'm sure some of the other Jedi felt it maybe a little, but maybe not to the extent that Soul did. I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt of saying, hey, like we got to storm this individual because we don't really know what we're dealing with. And then, of course, they immediately, learn of his power. Now, I will say too, the option for the mask seems just sketchy. I mean, that smile face on the mask. I was getting some like really dark vibes from this,
I saw a guy. I saw a guy at a dungeon BDSM party last weekend or whatever in my BDSM group wearing that same mask.
Can you get it at stores now?
I don't know. That's a lot more information than I wanted, though, Jeff. Thanks.
But yeah, that's mostly my thought. I thought that scene was great. Just that whole interchange of introducing. We now introduce the Sith Lord. I just kind of thought that was just kind of a cool build up. I don't know. I liked it. I just thought it was cool.
Hey, listen, when you've been fucking slogging through the Acolyte, like, you take what you can get. So, like, I get where you're coming from. It was a big moment, Now there's all this optimism online, like, for people in our chat on Facebook and shit are like, oh shit, episode 5 is a big change. It's really better. It's a lot more better and all this. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see. But let's do ratings on our final thoughts on the episode. So we'll start off with you, Cyber, and then I'll go over to your left, over to Garrett, and then over to Andre. Cyber, what's your rating on the episode?
So it goes from 0 to 2.
Oh, we got the positive 2. Wow.
2
okay.
Because of Soul. Simply because of Soul. I gave it a 2 because of that fine actor's performance. And, the ending, like I said, could have been really spectacular if it had been longer and they had made the Sith not as crazy powerful at first, kind of roll into it, not just have them right off the bat, like boom. But other than that, yeah, I give it a 2.
Okay, yeah. Garrett.
Yeah, I think like we all have kind of said this whole time, the 4 was definitely a step up from the other 3 for sure. Some things, I can take the good with the bad. I can see the stuff I don't like in it. I can see the stuff I do like in it. I don't think it's my favorite episode, especially after having watched 5 recently. So I'll give it like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, Andre's a pop culture guy.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's better than the first 3 episodes, I will say, but that's not saying much. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, Jason, and what's up, Chris?
Yeah, low bar overall when it comes to comparing to the first 3 episodes, but I'll go with Garrett and I'll give it, say, a 6.5 out of 10. So it was my favorite episode. I think the ending had the redeeming qualities. Without that, it's probably a lower score. So 6.5, we'll call it.
Imran.
I mean, that ending was what I came to the show for when I saw the trailer. And I get it. I get they want to leave them wanting more cliffhanger ending. But how they handled it frustrated me because it was all filler. Then show me the cool thing. You could have got to that point easily, like 10 minutes of story. And I don't know why they had to pad this out. But that is the only redeeming thing. I'll say, the other good thing, I did like when Jackie, when the master shows up and Jackie's like, what is that? I love that line.
Yeah, I like that too. That was really good. I'm glad you pointed that out.
They have
what is
no
that?
idea. They have no idea what they're dealing with. But as everyone has said, the Khmer thing is the worst kept secret. This is the big problem with the show. The two mysteries that you have in the show are been either nullified or they're completely obvious. Like it starts out who's killing the Jedi. You find out right away. Then who's the master? Everybody, just like you, Jason, after those 2 episodes, I think everybody was like, oh, it's got to be Khmer. It's too convenient. He knows everything. He knows where everybody's going to be. He made the poison. So it'll be the reveal, I feel, is kind of going to be disappointing either way. If it is Khmer, you could be like, that's great, but it was obvious and telegraphed. But if it's somebody we haven't met, that may be worse, because then you're like, who the hell is this guy? Where did this person come from? So they kind of written themselves into a weird thing. So I will say episode 4, slight improvement. I'm going to give it a 5.5, but I have seen episode 5 and that was pretty crazy. It's remarkably bad, remarkable improvement there. So that'll be fun to talk about.
Okay. Well, you'll be back for episode 6 and we'll discuss it. That'll be my first question to you. Will be about episode 5. My rating for the episode is going to be a solid 5. I'm just going to go with a 5. Great ending, but way too short. Way too short.
Oh,
Should have been longer.
Yeah.
Should have been longer. Way too much way too much filler leading up to it. And then the flip-flopping from May, I don't like that. It's totally inconsistent with her character so far, right? I don't see how that leads to anything positive. We'll see with episode 5, of course. But folks, that is it. We are done with the Acolyte episode 4. Shout out to Chris in the comment section. Chris, sorry you kind of came through here right at the end, brother. But we're going to go ahead and get into plugs so we can get out of here and try to, have a little bit of an early night tonight. Thanks to everybody for coming on. Thanks to everybody on the panel. The Shogun Awards for tonight are a tie between Garrett and Jason. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
There you go. There's a Shogun Award. And we're going to start off with plugs with my co-host, Cyberneticshark. So I'll go to you first, sir. The floor is yours.
As always, folks, if you enjoy me here on the panel or as the moderator on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, you can check out my solo content. You'll find me under Cyberneticshark on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Patreon. You'll find me pretty much anywhere there. As you can see, my most recent review is Inside Out 2 movie review. Just put that up yesterday. If you have not seen it, go check it out. A really great review. Twisters trailer reaction as well as brand new. So if you haven't seen that, check that out too as well. I'll be having more trailer reactions up soon. Nosferatu trailer just dropped, so I'll be talking about that soon. Along with a few other things. Just watched the movie today called Under Paris, which is a Netflix film about giant sharks. We'll be talking about that soon as well. So keep your eyes up for that good stuff. Have more stuff for you guys up soon. And just keep your eyes up for new stuff, people. I'll be getting newer stuff for you. And thanks for all those new and older out there that have been subscribed and haven't subscribed. You guys are rocking it.
Okay. Next. Let's see here. Who am I going to pull up next? Let's see what I got. Okay. Next. Mr. Jock and Nerd, Imran. I'm going to start off with your podcast, and then I'll slide over to your YouTube channel in a minute. But the floor is yours, sir.
Well, look, if you listen to audio podcast, all you got to do is go to your podcast app, search Jock and Nerd Podcast. It's myself. I'm the nerd. My co-host is a millennial jock, and we have a grumpy puppet. We like to review movies, TV shows, genre stuff, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Godzilla. Our recent episode, we're diving in a little bit 80s Brat Pack land. We did Breakfast Club. We're going to do another comedy 80s movie next week. But new shows every Wednesday, and it's on every podcast app. It's lots of fun.
There you go, folks. The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Good friends of ours. Although I still have not met the co-host, but hopefully I will eventually. It will happen.
One day, one of these days.
I'm waiting for my Jock and Nerd invite, sir.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on. Cigars in Space. We pull you up, and then whoever wants to take over, the floor is yours.
I'll hop in. So guys, if we're on Apple and Spotify podcasts, Cigars in Space. me and my co-host Jason. So Jason's actually my father-in-law. He's a big Star Wars geek like I am, and so we kind of do the podcast together. We've been kind of following the new stuff that's been released recently. As you can see there, we did kind of Tales of the Empire. Kind of went back. We went and saw Phantom Menace in theaters again, so for the 25th anniversary, and kind of saw that little sneak preview for the Acolyte while we were there seeing that. And yeah, just been kind of following that. And like I said, you can follow us, on Instagram too, at Cigars in Space podcast. Yeah, it's a great place to kind of keep up with what we're doing and what's going on in the realm of Star Wars. So check us out there and download an episode. Give us a rating.
Wait, I gotta ask,
There
do
you
you also talk about cigars?
We don't talk about cigars, oddly enough, but yeah.
Dude, you would have amazing double niche. You would create your own market.
I might discuss whiskey on occasion. Bourbon.
That's good.
Although this bottle's empty, but
You would be the only Star Wars and cigar review podcast. It's an amazing opportunity.
That's true.
Andre's the pop culture guy. The floor is yours.
Yes. Well, I want to say thank you, Garrett and Jason, for coming to this to the review of the Acolyte. It was a pleasure to meet you guys. You guys were really awesome. Here's my channel. Channel Presents. I'm up to 968 subscribers. Thank you.
You got a bump, sir. I think you got the bleeding edge bump.
Yeah, exactly. So recently, today, I just posted a Pulp Fiction 30th anniversary. Of course, this month has been Tantiri month for my channel. So Jeff, thank you so much for joining me last Sunday to do a live stream view of Pulp Fiction. It's right there if you check the live streams there. Tomorrow I'm gonna post
I had a good time, sir. I enjoyed myself. It was fun.
Yes, yeah, it was really fun. And next this July is gonna be also more fun. With more movie classic reviews. So tomorrow I'm gonna post.
Look at how long I've been living with Andres on Sunday nights, man. I'm doing 2-hour shows with him, fucking every Sunday night, shit, every other Sunday. Look, 2 hours, two hours, 18 minutes, dude.
Yeah, because we're family now, sir. Family. We're sticking together. That's the point. Anyway. No. It's been a pleasure you helping me out. Jeff, soon, hopefully Cyril will join us in live stream for next month. Hopefully the weather is not that bad. But yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure.
Well, you know what? You heard it from the man, folks. It's been a pleasure. We hope everybody out there who caught us live enjoyed the show. Everybody in the comment section, we appreciate you. Ira, great job over in Thailand, bro. Way to slam them prostitutes, bro. Very proud of you, dude. Handle your business like that. Hands up to Cyberneticshark. Sir, I will see you on Friday on the Matrix 4, right? Where Andre's the pop culture guy will be moderating for the first time for the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. He will be taking over the reins and doing his first show moderating. Yeah, Rod, you might want to stop by and check it out, man. Andre's going to be moderating, bro.
All right. I like that.
Yeah. I'm going to kill it.
All right. Oh, you're gonna kill it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it.
Hey, you know what? I like that. I like that confidence, sir. I like that confidence. We love everybody out there. We love everybody out in the Star Wars fandom and all the fandoms. God bless you. Thank you for all your support. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you support the fuck out of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge and all these fine creators. And we will see you at the next one. We love you. Peace. We out.
Said, excuse me, but you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world on span.